Here is the scary yet honest truth about mixing your own music. There's a potential for you to find yourself on a never-ending quest for perfectionism. Having complete control over every single element in your song has both pros and cons. The pros are very obvious. You're gonna save money in the long run from not having to pay someone else to mix your song. And as you become more experienced, you're gonna be able to get to that sound that you're envisioning in your head more easily. Now, the downside to all of this is that there are so many different possibilities and choices that you have to make when it comes to mixing. Which plugins are you going to use? How much reverb do you need? EQ, compression, leveling, panning, automation, the list just goes on. And being exposed to all of these different decisions can lead you down a rabbit hole creatively and steer you away from the end goal, which is to ultimately finish your song and release it for people to listen to. You see, it's very easy to get caught up making these minor and minute adjustments to your song, trying to achieve this idea of a perfect mix in your head. But in reality, there's no such thing as a perfect mix. But what does exist is a mix that allows your song to be heard and taken in by the consumer in a pleasing way. And more times than not, most of the work that's required to obtain this level of a mix occurs within the first couple of hours of mixing a song. Continuing to come back to your mix day after day just to turn your snare up a half decibel or pan your hi-hat 5% more to the left is not going to allow you to finish your song. And the truth of the matter is, the average listener isn't going to listen to your mix and say, wow, right there on that 808, I wish they would have boosted right there at 100 hertz. Or I wish they would have used this reverb plugin instead of the other. The listener isn't focused on the tools that you use to make your mix sound good. As long as you can get your mix to a comfortable place where everything is balanced, the low end is controlled, the vocals are up front, the majority of the battle has already been won. Now, I personally have fell victim to spending way too much time mixing my own songs, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. There's just something different about working on your own vocal, your own acoustic guitar recordings, and your own drum production. Everything is just a little bit more personal, and it's easy to get in your own head about how the mix is sounding. But sometimes you have to get out of your own way and realize that mixing is just a component in the creation process of your song. It's a very major component and has a huge impact on how your song is perceived. But if you choose to go down the route of mixing your own music, you can't let being a mixer get in the way of you being an artist. When you're a musician who has to wear a lot of different hats, meaning you're doing the songwriting, the production, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, the marketing, you have to take a step back and realize that the song from start to finish is going to go through a lot of different steps. And the technical side of things is the hardest to master and get good at. It's just how it is. Your mixes are not going to sound like the ones done by the top mixers in the world. And I'm not saying that one day you won't get close to that level, but certainly not in the early stages. And I don't say that just to discourage you. It's actually quite the opposite. I want to encourage you to keep going, to learn the fundamental tools of mixing and execute them to the best of your ability every single song that you mix. And as you do this, you're going to start to see your mixes progress over time as you begin to fully understand the sound that you're going after. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.